What's up, guys? It's coaches Jordan and Kristen. Today we're going to be talking about how to correctly set up your bands for banded pull-ups. So first off, all of our rigs are Rogue rigs, and Rogue rigs have a very specific type of hole spacing. Okay, so if you notice, there's a section lower on the rig where the holes are spaced closer together. Those are the bench hole spacings that Rogue uses. What we typically start people at for banded pull-ups is going to be the very top bench hole spacing. Now, that depends on where this bar is located, because obviously the further down the band is, the less help you're getting from the band. The further up the band is, the more help you're getting from the band. So our rig that's all power racks is set up with the same height difference as these two right here, okay? We have one that's a little bit shorter, so the band has to be set lower, and then two that are higher, so the bands need to go higher by default. But typically, starting at that top bench hole is where you want to begin to set up your banded pull-up station. Couple of things. The way that your bands have to be set, or your J-cups have to be set. The J-cup needs to have the guard on the outside. If it doesn't, when you set up your band, so first off, let's look at what that does when it's correct. Sweet. Yay, that'll work. Let's switch these around. Same section. Now the guard's on the inside. Let's put a band on it. And look at the magic of doesn't work. All right, so if that's happening when you're putting your band on, you need to switch your J-cups around, swap sides, all right? And same spacing, just switch those J-cups around. That'll happen to you if you pull it from one side to the other. So if I take this and go to the other side, now the guard's on the wrong side, all right? So just pay attention when you're setting this up that the J-cup is set up correctly, that the guard's on the outside. Now, there are a lot of different ways to manipulate bands. So obviously the thicker the band, the more help it's going to give you. The way that we usually like to progress banded pull-ups, we'll start you with like a green band, and we'll keep you at the same J-cup height. Once you're able to get like maybe 10 reps with that green band, we'll progress you down to a band that's not quite as thick. So sometimes that's straight to the blue band, or sometimes it's a combination of the red and the blue band. To make it harder, obviously, we can take the red band away or swap from the blue band to the red band, all right? And once you get to around that point where you're able to get sets of 10 through a full range of motion like that, there's a couple ways we can challenge that. We can go to pull-up negatives. We can do more pulling work with dumbbells or barbells. But another way to make it harder is actually to increase the space between your feet, where they're going to be standing on the band, and the bar. So we can look at the side, see that we start at the top bench hole, and we can bring it down 5 holes, all right? Make sure that's equal on both sides, set the band up again, and now you're getting a little less help from the band, so it makes it harder. So hopefully that gives you guys some good ideas about how to use that banded setup. That's more of the way we're talking about using the band progression. That's more of like a strength idea. If you wanted to use a banded pull-up in a Metcon, you're typically going to want to give yourself just a little bit more assistance than you would use for a strength workout. All right, so maybe if for strength, I can use just a blue band. Maybe I'm going to go blue and red for a Metcon. Okay, just depends on where you're at. Always talk with your coach. Let us help you figure out a good option for that. One last little thought that comes to mind is to use the banded pull-up effectively, we don't want to bounce out of the bottom of the band. So when you come down to the bottom of your banded pull-up, we want to make sure that you're pausing, not ricocheting back up. So actually, let's have Kristen demo real quick, also how to get safely into the band. So let's go ahead and pull that bench up, actually. So you can step up if you're tall enough. But most people, you're going to want to pull up a bench. Notice that it's set to the side and it's not underneath the band. So Kristen's going to stand up, get both hands safely and securely on the bar, stomp one foot down with the band sitting right squarely in the middle of her foot, and then put the other foot in after. She's going to start from a dead hang, pull her chin all the way up over the bar, then come back down to that dead hang. She's not going to bounce. Let's go ahead and demonstrate a bounce really quick. There you go. Okay, see that? What that does is makes it way too easy, which then makes it really hard for you to know how well you're actually progressing on that band. Anyways, guys, that's how to set up your bands for banded pull-ups and how to perform the movement correctly and some things to think about for how to progress that movement. See ya.